All right, today we're going to build a blueprint for something we all have, but somehow we're never really taught how to manage it, our own mind. It's about shifting from just being a passenger in your own head to actually being the architect of your well-being. And we're going to start with a number that, well, it might just surprise you.
Okay, get ready for this. It's a pretty wild statistic. Researchers have found that for almost half of our waking life, we're talking 47%, our minds are just wandering. We're not focused on what we're doing right here, right now. And here's the real kicker. The data shows a super clear link between a mind that wanders and a mind that's less happy. So think about that. If you're mentally checked out for nearly half of your own life, it kind of makes you wonder, right?
Who's really in control? I mean, if it's not you, then what is? And that's exactly where we're going to start. We're going to pull back the curtain on the brain's default mode, its own personal invisible controller.
Yeah, think of it like this. It's an invisible controller, this autopilot that's always trying to pull your attention away from the present moment. It's the factory setting we're all born with. But the thing is, it's not always steering us in the right direction. And this is so important. Whatever we pay attention to, it gets stronger in our brain. You know that one mean comment someone made ages ago, or that little mistake at work that you just can't seem to shake? When your mind just keeps replaying those moments on that autopilot we talked about, you are literally physically carving pathways in your brain around that negativity. And the craziest part, most of the time, we don't even realize we're doing it.
Okay, so if the problem is our attention just drifting all over the place, what's the real root cause? Well, it all comes down to the stories our brains are constantly telling us. It's like a sales pitch it gives us about every single thing that happens.
All right, I'm about to say something that might sound totally wrong at first, but just hang with me for a second here. Our emotions, they don't actually come from events. They come from the story your brain tells you about those events. No, seriously, think about it. It's not the traffic jam itself that makes you angry, it's the story you immediately buy into. Oh, this is a total disaster. I'm going to be late, my boss is going to kill me. The event itself, it's neutral. The story is what lights the fuse on the feeling.
And I absolutely love this quote because it just nails the idea perfectly. Your brain is like a salesman in Las Vegas. It's relentless, it's flashy, and man, it is constantly trying to sell you stories about everything. Every single worry, every judgment, it's just another sales pitch. But here is the secret, the game changer. You don't have to buy a single thing. You can just look at the pitch, say, nah, not for me, and just walk on by.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But is it actually possible to change this stuff? The answer is a resounding yes. And the science on this gives us so much hope. See, our brains are not fixed. They're not set in stone. The concept is called neuroplasticity, and it's basically our superpower for taking back control.
Let's just look at the hard evidence for a minute. On one side of the coin, we know that things like chronic stress and depression can cause physical parts of the brain to actually shrink over time. It's wild. But, and this is a big but, on the other side, we see that targeted mental practice, things like compassion training or mindfulness, can physically strengthen the circuits in our brain for well-being. We can literally build a healthier, stronger brain.
Now, what's so cool about this is just how tangible the change really is. This chart right here, it's showing activity in the prefrontal cortex. That's a part of your brain linked to stuff like self-control and positive emotions. Just look at the difference between before and after, just a short period of practice. We are talking about real, measurable, physical change here.
And honestly, this is the most empowering part of all. This isn't something that's going to take a whole lifetime to achieve. The research shows that systematic, focused mental practice can create these measurable changes in the brain in as little as 7 hours. 7 total hours. That's less than one full day at work to start rewiring your mind for the better. That's incredible.
So the big question is, how do we actually do this? What does that practice even look like? Well, it's all built on a really simple but incredibly powerful framework, the 4 pillars that form the blueprint for a healthy mind.
These are the 4 trainable skills that lay the foundation for well-being. We've got awareness, connection, insight, and purpose. Simple, right? Now let's break down what each of these really mean.
Okay, let's look at this mental architecture. Awareness is all about knowing what your mind is doing. Are you stressing? Are you daydreaming? It's just noticing. Connection is about practicing appreciation and kindness, flexing that empathy muscle. Insight, that's about realizing your personal narrative. That Vegas salesman's pitch is just a story. And purpose is about connecting what you do every day to a larger direction, a why. So when you put these all together, you get a really solid structure.
So that framework gives us the what. Now we need the how. The real key here is to take this from being just a cool idea you heard about and turn it into a simple, non-negotiable daily habit. Like for real.
I want you to think about it like this. Brushing your teeth. Seriously, none of us were born knowing we had to do it. It's not baked into our DNA. It is a learned behavior that we do every single day for our physical health. Right? Well, mental hygiene is the exact same thing. It might not be our brain's default setting, but it is an absolutely essential, trainable skill for our mental health.
And listen, you do not need to go meditate on a mountaintop for an hour to do this. All it takes to start is just 3 minutes a day. That's it. 3 minutes. Just enough time to pause, to notice the stories your brain is trying to sell you, and to consciously choose which ones you're going to buy into. That is the daily challenge.
Because at the end of the day, that's what this all comes down to. The stories, they're always going to be there. That salesman is never going to stop pitching. But you are the architect. You have the blueprint now. So the only question left is, which stories are you going to choose to build your life with?